All right, we're here for day 16 of Advent of Code. So again, for me, it's the 15th. I don't know why I clicked on the calendar. I clicked on the calendar because apparently I can't subtract 1. Yes, about to be the 16th in Eastern Time. Moreau says, so Advent of Code gets harder as the days go on. Yes, it definitely does. So I expect today to be a tricky one. Although I thought yesterday's was actually not that hard. But that was maybe because I knew the trick. Oh. One thing that I wanted to do is I want to switch up my template a little bit, because I have noticed a pattern from all these days. So I'm just going to make a little name tuple here. And I suspect that I'll need something like this. Let's see. Like, I've basically written this sort of structure for all of these so far. So I suspect I'm going to need something like this, so I'm going to set it up beforehand. Moro says, can you generally finish all the days? Last year I finished every day except for one of them. Well, I finished every day except for one of them without what I consider cheating. When I say cheating, I didn't actually cheat. I didn't like look up the answer or anything, but I learned a new piece of technology that felt like cheating. It's this library called 18. It's this library called Z3, and the idea behind Z3 is part 2. The idea behind Z3 is you describe a system and you input all of the constraints of this system, and it first tells you whether that system is solvable because it can figure that out independent of it being an NP hard problem. So it tells you whether it can validate the system, and then it will just kind of crunch numbers and answer the system for you. So let me give you an example of what I did for that. Yeah, so basically I set up some variables for coordinates, some variables for distances, and then described whether something was in range or not. This was collision of octahedrons. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, octahedrons. Sorry, just trying to visualize it. The really hard part about this problem was visualizing it. I think there's actually a clip where I was trying to visualize it. Which clips top of of course the top of the last 7 days is me dabbing. Why would it be anything else? Oh yeah, this is what I was visualizing with. This is kind of what the shapes looked like. But anyway, we were supposed to find the point where most of them overlapped, and so it was essentially octahedron collision. My original approach to this, and it worked for part 1, but it was too slow for part 2, was to project the octahedron. So first they're in 3D space, and you can project them into 2 different 2D spaces. And then you can project those 2D spaces into 4 different, not 1D spaces, but line spaces. I guess that's 1D? I don't fucking know. But then you can do collision of all of those things. And so that's how I was approaching collision, but I never actually got to that. But then Z3 was just like, describe the situation and then try and minimize the difference between distances and maximize the number that were there. And you validate it, and then you just spits out the answer. It's pretty cheaty. Psychode says, "Don't be such a baddie." Speaking of baddie, I did get the feature that I was working on working. So now you can jump by word, and it even works how I want it to at boundaries. So this jumps to the end of the line independent of that. And it jumps to indents, which is cool. But I just needed a clear head and like me to think more about how it should work. But it works now. Did that off stream because I was doing laundry today, and so it was just like I had 5 minutes here or there to work on it. I gave up after I finished day 4. I'm new. One of my favorite parts is seeing the visualization posts on Reddit. Yeah, the visualizations have been pretty cool. Did you see my visualization for... I didn't post on Reddit. Oh, I'm in the right directory already. What was that? Day 13? Yeah, it was an odd-numbered one. Let's see. Mode equals normal Python part 2.py input.text. Yeah, so this was one of my visualizations, which I thought was pretty cool. Like this particular problem was just like so awesome, and I was so excited about like working on this. But yeah, this is my visualization. I tried to make the blocks deterministically colored, but randomly colored. And I did like a little clever thing with hashing their coordinates. That seemed to produce a nice little pattern. And then used some like Unicode box drawing characters to draw this. The weird thing though is I went to run this on my other computer, and for whatever reason, all of these characters render differently, despite my other computer being the same operating system, the same version of all the packages, same fonts installed, and the same font sizes. So I have no idea why my other computer renders this one completely differently, but that'll just have to be one of those things that I never figure out and I'm just sad about forever because computers. But this was pretty fun. I also made like a couple different modes of this. So like there's a manual mode where you can try and play the game yourself, but the game's actually really fucking hard. And then there's the fast mode, yeah, where it just like kind of goes really, really speedy. And then I have instant mode, which doesn't even render, but... like they say, just ship your system, right? I should just do everything in a Docker container. That's the solution to all problems. There's definitely nothing wrong with everything being Docker all the time. Let's see, so I'm betting today is not int code. That's my bet, because we haven't had an even int code since day 2. And we haven't had 2 int codes in a row, so we're betting on not int code today. That's how I'm going with. Oh. And we're gonna try out this new template, and if it works, we'll keep it. If it doesn't work, then we'll go back to what I had before. But I sneaking suspicion that this is gonna save me some time. Even if it's only like the 1 minute that I just showed you saving that time, like at least it'll start structuring the code and how I want to approach it. But let me just get set up. What else do we usually set up? We usually set up this file that we can just paste into. How does this thing work again? I notify exec part 1.py pytest. Okay, so that should hopefully be ready. That when we write this file, it'll run our tests for us automatically. Hailstone Sam says, "What are you coding?" Well, today I'm working on Advent of Code, which is a series of programming puzzles that come out 2 per day until the 25th of December. And they increase in difficulty as the days go on. So they start out easy peasy, but we're getting into the later days. There's only there's 10 days until Christmas, and so they're way more difficult. But I'm hoping today's actually isn't so bad. I'm a little stuffed up right now. I'm not really sure why. Hopefully I'm not getting sick. I think I've said that like 4 episodes in a row, so hope I'm not getting sick. Knock on wood there. Hey, what's up, Mediox? How's it going? And Mindful Fox, hello. Good luck, my ninja. I'm ready. Oh, is it because I'm wearing this shirt? How did you know? Did I like show it? I didn't. Knackle Eric says, sleep or watch stream, Python. Right? Oh, we don't want to do that. I can even put my cursor here where I suspect that I'm gonna need to write code. We're gonna try and min-max this as much as possible. We're gonna get points today, right? Why not both? Top 10 today? Yeah, there's no way. There's no way I could top 10 on points. I'm not that fast. Some of these other people are like practice this shit. I'm just doing it for fun and streaming, you know? Yeah, that guy is Beta Veros. Yeah, he's pretty good. Completely coincidental. Nice, Mindful Fox. That was a good guess. I'm wearing my GitHub, what is it called? Their security bounty t-shirt. I got money out of it, but honestly I was more excited about the t-shirt. Psycho says, I'm seriously hoping my school's out tomorrow. It'll mean I get to be in 2 of my programming classes rather than 1. I'm transferring schools and I'm gonna miss a day. Oh. Well, I assume you're in a snowy place where that's why school would get canceled. I'm about to be in a snowy place. I'm gonna be flying to Michigan in, what, 2 days? 3 days? The 18th? But in Eastern time? Wait, no. Yeah, no. I think I'm gonna be able to do these next 3, and then these ones I'll do in January. So we're coming up on one of the last few streams that I'm gonna be doing in this year 2019. But I think we're ready. Also had a drink, so I might be at a bit of a disadvantage. So if I do something derpy, that's what I'm blaming it on. But yeah, here we go. 10-second countdown. It's snowing tonight, and I'm hoping. I'll hope for you too. I'll do my snow dance later. All right, let's do this. I clicked. Puzzle input is a giant integer. Okay, so my guess at the input style is not going to help me. Flawed frequency transmission takes a list of numbers in the signal you received, your puzzle input. Each number is a single digit. Okay. This is not useful. Cool, we have parsed integers. Yay, done with input parsing. FFT operates in repeated phases. In each phase, a new list is constructed with the same length as the input list. Oh, sweet. So this is going to be a Conway's Game of Life sort of deal. Each element in the new list is built by multiplying every value in the input list by a value that is a repeating pattern and then adding up the results. So the input lists were 98765 and the pattern for a given element were 123. The result would be that. Cool. Then only the ones digit is kept. 38 becomes 8, negative 17 becomes 7. Ooh, that's gonna be an interesting one. We can cheat though. Oh, we can just do this. Cool. Alright. When each element in the output array uses all of the same input array elements, the actual repeating pattern to use depends on which output element is being calculated. Oh, fucking here we go. The base pattern is 0, 1, 0, negative 1. Then repeat each value in the pattern a number of times equal to the position in the output list. Fuck. Repeat once for the first element, twice for the second element, 3 times for the third element, so on. If the third element of the output list is being calculated, repeat. Whew, we're about to be whooshed here. When applying the pattern, skip the very first value exactly once. In other words, offset the whole pattern left by 1. What? What the fuck is happening? I'm so lost. Below are the 4 phases of FFT. With each phase, each output digit is calculated on a single line with the result at the far right. I'm so lost right now. there's so much going on here. Okay, so presumably we have an input here to some expected output value. What are we getting at the end? What are the first 8 digits? Okay, so this is actually a string, probably. After 100 phases. Why is this repeated so many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Did it say there were 8 steps? A new list is constructed with the same list as the input list. Each element in the new list is built by multiplying every value in the input list by a value in a repeating pattern and then adding up the results. Okay. Oh, so each multiplication is 1 digit of the list. Got it. While each element in the output array uses all of the same input array elements, the actual repeating pattern to use depends on which output element is being calculated. The base pattern is 0, 1, 0, negative 1, then repeat each value in the pattern a number of times equal to the position in the output list being considered. Okay, so in position 1, the first position, you repeat it just 1 time. Second position, third element would be 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. Okay, cool. Okay, I can get that. That's not so bad. Use iter tools for that. I don't want to use iter tools, but we could use iter tools for that. We're just gonna write a generator. Pattern sequence int n int for n in pattern for and then we can use cycle on that. It also said it was offset though, didn't it? When applying the pattern, skip the very first value exactly once. In other words, offset the whole pattern left by 1. So for the second element of the output list, the actual pattern would be that. Okay, so we can just call next on it once and ignore the first value. So the pattern is 0, 1, 0, negative 1, and so this is left shifted by 1. Okay, cool. That's not so bad. I think I can get this. I'm gonna open this in another tab off screen. Sorry, guys. Just so I can see the values. For IDX in range, len of ints. Okay, we're gonna compute each. We're gonna compute each index. Okay. This is 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, negative 1. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna repeat our pattern with position is IDX plus 1. 1, 2. So we're always gonna skip the first value. Sum x times y zip ints pattern. that's it. For n in ints 1, 8. And our expected here is... Oh, we don't have an expected for that one. Okay, well, we'll use one of the other ones then. Oh, we need to do this thing, right? Is it just the last digit at the end? Yeah, I think so. Last digit is not defined. Right. That failed idea. Fuck yeah, it's passing. We're gonna get cocky. Oh, it's so slow. Why is it so slow? Oh god. Is this the drop song? Probably put the other tests in there too. But we're gonna hopefully get points, right? Points? Fuck yeah, we got points! Fuck yeah, we got points! The real signal is your puzzle input repeated 1,000 times. God damn. Okay, we have to get clever now. This is the hard part, right? Oh, this gets way more complicated. Yeah, we got points, guys. Song with the drop. Oh, did we get to the drop song that quickly? Damn. I tried to start later in the list this time, which means I need to click the repeat button. Real signal is your input repeated 10,000 times. Alright. I don't think we're getting points in part 2. This seems hard. But at least we can multiply a list. That part's easy. Treat this new signal as a single input list. Patterns are still calculated as before. 100 phases of FFT are still applied. We saw how fucking slow... how slow 100 iterations was. 1,000 iterations would be real slow. The first 7 digits of your initial input sequence also represent the message offset. Message offset is the location of the 8-digit message in the final output. Specifically, the message offset indicates the number of digits to skip before reading the 8-digit message. Oh my god. Okay. So that's not so bad. Okay. Parse that part out. Oh. 10,000? Did I say 1,000? Oh, okay. I copied and pasted their numbers, so I didn't have a problem. It's fine. We're good. I can kind of see chat. Holy good God. Okay, so now we gotta start thinking about something clever. Because we're not gonna be able to run the brute force here. Let's at least put our test cases in. We're probably gonna need to look for some sort of pattern. I had to guess. Because actually computing one phase of this is gonna be incredibly slow. So we're gonna have to think of some clever math, probably. Which is why we're at a bit of a disadvantage for part 2 here. But let me copy these in, and then we'll start thinking about how to math. Yes, time to think. All right, let me look at chat because we got some time to think about this one. What's 1080p? That's a resolution. Oh, the bookmark. Oh yeah. This is for when I used to record YouTube episodes pretty often. The way I generate my episodes is I build a slide deck and then like navigate through that. And the 1080p button is a bookmarklet which opens up the slide deck in a window that's exactly 1080p, so that I can size this to OBS and then present on that. And then I zoom in and go from there. So that's what that bookmarklet does. 1080p memes. Yeah. You reading this is hurting my brain. It hurt my brain too. Laura says, I literally don't even understand the question. Math is happening, right? Evanescence, this is hurting my brain. Slow means losing points. Yeah, we're gonna lose points here. Anderson says, well done. Thank you, friend. I got my points. Dude, take me close to a year to get cracking this. Time to think. Addy Baby says, yo, what's poppin'? Ryan H says, yo, you know JavaScript, Holmes. I do know some JavaScript. But we're not doing JavaScript today, we're doing Python. Okay, so how can we shortcut this is what I need to figure out. So let's take just this one. And we'll tab this out. Etc. And what we really need to figure out is how we derive each of the numbers. So for the first digit, offset by 1. So we have like 1, 0, negative 1, 0, 1, 0, negative 1, 0, etc. All summed together. So it's really just like picking so at least for the first one, it's picking every other one. That's not so bad. Second one, we have 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. Wait, no, that's not right. Look at this. Wait, does it start with 0? Fuck, I don't even remember. Well, it starts with 0. I was... Oh! Okay. 0, 1. Oh, these are all messed up. That was right. Anyway, I'm trying to make them line up. Negative 1, negative 1. And then 0, 0. 1, 1, 1. You're right, it is like a bunch of booleans except for the minus. And it's kind of like a bunch of masks. But there must be some trick either with the offset. Oh, so that's the thing. I think that's the trick. Oh wait, no. Is that true? Hey, what's up, Neuro1Net? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. So I think we can already simplify the problem a little bit. Knowing the offset in the string is helpful because you'll notice this first digit is only ever we only need to compute everything after it because everything before it is going to be zeros. Is that always true? The first position is the first position onwards. The second position is the second position onwards. And like if we tab this out down here, we'll have 0, 0, 0. 1, 1, 1, 1. We can already slice off everything after that position here. That makes the problem significantly smaller. Is it small enough to actually solve it though? I don't think so. Is it small enough to solve it? And does it help us? And is that the only trick that will make it fast enough? I think it definitely makes the problem smaller. Is it small enough at that point? Ryan H says, what is this gibberish? You and me both, buddy. I have no fucking idea. But we need to change how much we're nexting here. Let me look at this and see how long that shrinks the problem down to. See if that's tangible. 500,000. How long were we before? Oh, we can also... 650. So we're still at 1,000 times? We're still at 1,000 times. So 12 times 1,000 divided by 60. We're looking at 200 minutes of time. The 3.5 hours, 3 1/3 hours. We're not sitting here waiting for it to run for 3 hours. So that's not enough to simplify the problem down. It does get us part of the way there, though. Oh right, ericlinsvanillajs.com. I forgot about that. The worst language, vanilla JavaScript. I'm not going to answer things about my salary, Ryan, but... Addie Baby says, GeoHans is doing the same thing. Nice. Yeah, makes sense. Brute force for only take 100 times longer, 15 minutes or so. No. 1,000 times. So we like at least know that chunk. I'll have to think of some other clever thing. We only care about the ones, so we don't actually need to do all the multiplications. That could save some time, but I don't see it saving a lot of time. I don't see how you can avoid the additions. Let's see. Bro, are you trying to build Skynet? Yep. No, I'm trying to cure cancer in Python. What's a couple of order magnitudes among friends? Can you cache anything? I could cache those iterators, but I don't know that that actually helps me. I could also represent them as a set of slices. And sum the slices. That might be faster, but not like super long. 1000x is better than 10,000x. Yeah, that's true. Have it cut off the first one in the first trial thing, first 2 in the second, first 3 in the third, and so on. Yeah, like we do only have to calculate the triangle, and right now I'm calculating the rectangle, so that would get us half of that down. That'd be 1.5 hours. But we also don't even need to calculate the whole triangle. It's really just how much do we skip here. And does it repeat is the other thing. Let's think about it from the other end of the thing. The last digit is the last digit ever going to change? I think the last digit is always going to stay the same, right? And the digit before it yeah, let's look at a shorter number. Actually, we can use the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 number. And we have 1, 0, -1. Oh, I should have given these another space. 1, 0, -1, 0, 1, 0, -1, 0. The 8th digit, however, is going to be this. And the 7th digit is going to be this. So the last n digits are never going to change? Or no, that's not true. 7 will become 15, and then it'll become so the last n digits are just going to be summing the rest and then modding. That makes it slightly simpler. Try making a visual with colored pixels that might make it easier to tell what's what. Yeah, maybe. Hang on, I think I'm onto something though. I think the last n digits are not that interesting. Yeah, because it's like a beam that gets wider here. And these are all scattered. And he says, what fresh hell is this? Numbers, man. Numbers. Okay, so n over 2, we're just summing here. So this last half of the problem is easy. Sum and mod. No multiplication, no pattern, nothing. So let's see if I can make part 1A faster for that. First half rounded down.
So space, night, death, darkness, not being there is an
Yeah, sure. We'll round up just for, because I don't want to think about it.
That's the way being is made up.
It works for odd. Let's try for even. 4. Okay, it works for odd and even. I do need another set of parentheses though. Oh, and at this point we can cut off all the other ones that don't matter. See if that works. No. No, still no. Maniac says, I like where this is going. Oh. Okay. That's better. Is it faster, though? It's twice as fast. And now I think we can also optimize the beginning half. Well. Did it give me the same answer, though, is the question. Wasting precious seconds on this. Okay, it gives the same answer, so that is a valid optimization. So now let's optimize the front part of the list. Oh man, this feels good. I'm feeling good about that. Okay. Let me figure out how to offset this by a certain number. iSlice could get us to, no, that's, no, that doesn't help. Okay, so the front part of this list, if we look at our chart here, the first digit is from the first digit onward. We can ignore the first n digits. That is helpful. That is helpful. Oh, so we can really just start from the ones? Shortening it to 37 minutes 30 seconds. Okay, sounding better. We just need to get it down to, I don't know, if it's down to like 10 minutes, I'll run it. Now I gotta think about how to optimize this. 1A to 1B. And honestly, we can just fucking shove this through PyPy if we get it down to that time. So I'm liking this. I'm liking this idea. But now I just have to think about how to make this work out. We need to figure out the offset. Oh. Also, I still need to adapt it for my other shortcut, but that's fine. That's actually not so hard, I don't think. We have this pattern. We really want it to be how many we chop off. And then we're really starting, we're ignoring all the zeros.
If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it.
Now we're just gonna start with the ones. Thick. Not faster though. Oh, it is faster. And it's still correct. It's 2/3. Is that enough time to cut off though? We have it down to 1/3. Should you run PyPy while you think of a new solution? Yeah, I wanted to get that next optimization in place. PyTest. Okay, PyPy has it down to a second. So that's 12 times faster than my original solution. That's still pretty slow. It's still pretty slow. But we can take this here. The ones that are 0 just do no calculation, right? Yeah, I mean, multiplying by 0. There are people with both stars in under 20 minutes, so there must be a way. Yeah. The leaderboard done for today? Or is there still points on the line? There's still points on the line. Okay. Okay, we've already learned that we can slice off all of those integers. Oh shit, imagine if this number's in the second half. That would make this easy. A solution exists for every puzzle that solves within 15 seconds in an interpreted language on a 10-year-old hardware. Ooh. Eric with the hard facts. I mean, I think I've gotten it down to a 15-minute solution. I don't know why I f-stringed that. It doesn't help. Okay, so we've offset our integers here. That means we need to offset our pattern and our indexing thing. How can I do that? We can just do next list equals, without changing my algorithm all that much. We can just do this. And then that. And if it's in the second half, okay. We want the bigger one here. That's not so bad. Not so bad. Yeah, have string of value you can just print. I was gonna put like a thing in front of it. Not the right answer though. Not the right answer though. Oh, because I'm not grabbing the right answer down here. Return int offset colon offset plus 8. Let's try that again. Well, we'll see if this gets me the right answer, and then we'll let it run while I think of a smarter solution. If this gets the right answer. If not, we have more debugging to do, and more optimizations to figure out. Oh fuck! It succeeded. Okay, we're gonna run it for the points. See how long it's going to take. So I'm gonna have a stopwatch. If I can time it between. Oh, it's so slow. It's so fucking slow. Oh my god. Stopwatch. Is it even gonna get to one iteration? Let's see where it come. Oh, it's never gonna complete. This is so slow. Oh, we can see the time here. I don't need a stopwatch. Still only 43 finished. Yeah, we're not getting points though. Not from this solution. Holy shit. It's so slow. I just want to see it complete one iteration. Yeah, we're looking at least 100 minutes now. That's an hour and a half. Oh, am I running CPython? Yeah, this is the CPython one. A little bit of a waste of time. I think this is where people using C have an advantage, or is it more about the way you implement it than the language? It should be more about the way you implement it than the language. So there is some clever solution that I have not figured out yet. But this is PyPy now. But even my, even the small ones. Yeah, Eric. See what Eric said above. Exactly. This is not what I'm gonna be done with, for sure. There is a trick that I'm not seeing yet. Despite two of my tricks that I've done so far. And getting the correct answer in 25 seconds for the small ones. But I assume those we should get almost instantly. Yeah, even with PyPy, we're looking at over 100 minutes here, so that's not it either. I'm 28 years old, Ryan. Okay, so we have some intuition about the second half of the numbers. Yeah, hopefully I'm not still figuring this problem out in 2020. Yes, I work as a software engineer. I work at Lyft. I work on the infrastructure team. I've been programming since I was about 10 years old. The negatives are kind of what's throwing me off here. I wonder if I looked at a sequence and saw how it changed over time, if that would show me anything. Oh, it is interesting. The last digit always stays the same, so we know that. The second to last digit will increase by the... Oh, the second to last digit is always these two added together and then mod 10. So this will become 5? Yeah, 5 and then 3 and then 1 and then 8. And just rotate around that loop. This digit, we only care about this last digit. This digit, we only care about this last digit also. Oh wait, no, that's not true. We're not adding 78 to it, we're adding all of these. Hey, what's up, Mikey-O? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. What is that word? Defigus. I think you meant figures, but I have so much less intuition about these earlier numbers, though. The last numbers, these ones, and those are the ones that I thought were fast. Yeah, okay, even this solution is never going to complete. We're up to 5 minutes, and we haven't even done one iteration. That's 500 minutes, that's 10-ish hours. We're not doing that. We are not going to. We've abandoned that approach, even though I think all the test suite passes. Like using a sorting algorithm rather than using the one Python gives you. I mean, the one Python gives you is usually pretty good, though. So I think each of the digits might go through a cycle. That's another idea that I have. We definitely see a cycle for these last two digits. Technically works, good enough for production, right? Yeah, test green. Yeah, so 8's cycle is 0. 7's cycle is 1 iteration. Oh wait, not 1 iteration. It would be what, the last digit? How long does it take 8 to cycle? Let's see, this would go... Oh god, how do I redo a nano? There we go. Not obvious like in Babby. Let's say 7, and then 5, and then 3, and then 1, and then 9, and then 7. Dude, just watch an ad to get an hour-long speaker. What? What does that mean? Bro, are you a millionaire? I think you're a really smart guy. I'm not gonna answer that question. Confirmed millionaire, right? But why? Oh, I see. This is... Oh, the last two digits have patterns. That's easy. Confirmed millionaire. What's it like being a millionaire at 28 years old? Wow, way to make some assumptions, my dude. Archiatis, Anthony is a babillionaire. A babillionaire. Gamskanagi, he says, God, I'm stumped on this one today, gonna leave it for tomorrow. Are we there yet, says Mediox? No. This one are these cycles. But this is a period of 6. But let's say the last two digits were... let's say the last digit was 0 to be Rolly. And 5. This would just repeat forever. It's not so interesting. Because the last digit was 1. This is always 1. This is going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a period of 10. Looks like a Gaussian matrix. I don't know what that is. Oh, I hate clicking on Wikipedia math articles. They're always such garbage. They're always so hard to understand. This nonsense might look like a matrix. Wait, what do you mean there? We didn't even get there. This thing? Do you hate them because they're written poorly or are too complex? It's both. Both of them. I mean, I work in San Francisco. I live in San Mateo. I also don't like. I don't like this. He hates them because he can't copy paste the solution code. Yeah, that's what it is. And this might be the first day that I just don't know. So if it's odd, it has a period of 10. This is actually a period of 5 down here. Okay, so what have I showed myself? But 5 doesn't have a period of 10. This is only giving me intuition about the n-1 digit. Try putting it on and try and accept it a wee faster. Nice emote, Emmy. Did they lock the Reddit threads until the top 100 is filled? I assume no. No, I could always look up hints if I wanted to. Sarcastic Dante says sleep schedule. What's that? Knowledge says, did you hear about the teacher who created an unanswerable exam question and then set it up that a cheating website had a wrong answer, so he subsequently failed every entry who tried to answer it? First top 100 solution taking over an hour, still at 70. So there's hope? No, there's no hope here. There's some math concept missing for sure. Yes. I'm gonna write out all these recurrence things first. 4, 8, 2, 6, 0, 4. This is also a period of 5. 8. Oh, this one is a period of 2. I already showed 8 down here. All that's left is 9. This one's a period of 10. Okay, so for 2 digits, we have a kind of reasonable pattern. What does the period of 5 stuff mean? Oh, so I'm looking at the last digit. The last digit will always be the same. There's no reason to do computation for it. The second to last digit is the amount that it repeats is based on the very last digit. And it will cycle. We know it will cycle. And my guess is that the third to last digit will also cycle in some way. And then we can generalize that out at least to the second half. I don't know if we can do that for the first half though. But my guess is, my guess is that when we get to the third digit, this pattern won't hold anymore. And I'm concerned to look at the third digit. I could run this a bunch and see what this does. Oh no, I canceled the computation. It was never going to complete. I do have a solution that works, just very, very slowly. But that doesn't count here at all. If you play 009 Sound System Dreamscape, you will think better. Is that one in this playlist? If it's not in the playlist, I can't play it. This playlist gets me thinking though, I guess. Also, if I played some shitty pop punk, it would get me thinking too. Parentheses were never closed. That's a good error message. I wish CPython gave me that error message. I must be using PyPy. Yeah, so you can see here we have the recurrence in this column, and this column is always the same. 1, 4, 3, 4. Where do we start up here? 1, 4, 3, 0, 0. Do we ever see that? Okay, so I don't see any pattern, at least in the first digit. There is a pattern in this digit. Okay, 6145416. 6145416. So there is a pattern. Figuring out the period of that pattern is tricky though. Yeah, and there's a pattern in this digit also. But I really only expect to see a pattern in the ending digits, to be honest. 42412. Let's see, that's what we're looking for here. Oh, we see a pattern here too. Right there. Huh. What about this one? 32040. I didn't see it anywhere. Is this the Matrix? Matrix written in Python, yeah. I mean, I think it is a matrix. I just don't know what the proper transform is. And I was never any good at matrices. And I don't want to use NumPy. Because fuck NumPy. And my simplifications don't make it fast enough. Use NumPy. No. NumPy dot answer the problem for me. I hear R is good at statistics. Yeah, I don't think it helps me here. I wonder if it's a bit counting problem. Do I know Joe? The programming language Joe? Or person named Joe? I know some people named Joe. I don't know the programming language Joe. I do know it is a programming language. I hear small talk is better than Python. Right? Joe Mama? Damn, you got me, Psycode. Alright, so I think I've identified that there's some periodicity in the, at least in these digits, which is more than we saw before, because this is, what, the last 4 digits? So I was kind of surprised to see a pattern in this one, although I guess it makes sense. How many programming languages do you know how to iterate through an array in? A lot? All of them? Yeah, I'm just like super stuck here. The leaderboard capped? Perfect. No points today. Or no double points today. At least I got the first one. Points on that one. I think this is a hint. Now that I look at it. Do you get anything out of Advent of Code? It's fun. I get a bunch of Twitch and YouTube content. I'm not gonna try and pronounce this though, because I know I'm gonna say it wrong. But FFT is a thing. I think that's what it's a play on. Is it really Fourier? That doesn't sound right. It looks like it's French, like it should be Fourier.
Fourier.
See? Fourier.
Fourier.
Okay. I don't feel so bad then. I would have been right with my guess. Okay, so the discrete Fourier transform converts a finite sequence of equally spaced samples of a function into a same length sequence. If you want to be pretentious about its pronunciation, that video garbles it. Put on a video of a fireplace to heat your hands and keep yourself warm. Be careful not to bring the video too close to Nano, though. My hands aren't that cold. They're fine. Fiddle factors. That's a fun word. Sorry, I'm just reading this article. I think if we were to do it right, it'd be Fourier. For EA, yeah. Oh, you haven't figured out what the bot is triggering on yet now, Edge? I think you'll figure it out. Oh, okay, you know. Is this cheating? If it's French, should be something like foyer. Okay. Stranger says interesting as I look up sequence. This is not the sequence. There is this. It would have to be this sequence. Let's try with more than that. 0, 1, 1, 1. Why did it ignore my negative ones? E of n equals the floor of sine of n. And floor of cosine of n. There are one sequence based on cubes. Rewrite the same code in C++, boom, reduce time to 1 second. I don't think that it's going to make it several orders of magnitude faster. Okay. I don't think that's going to help me. I think the hint is really this fast Fourier transform. Fourier transform. C with classes, my favorite suffering language. C++ isn't so bad. I mean, I did make some interesting optimizations, but not enough. Alan Caliber says linear algebra upper triangle rule looks like. You mean this part here? I mean, kind of, except these numbers are all sort of garbly. There is like a nice interference kind of pattern going on here. Oh, I wonder. Huh. I bet each digit is only dependent on a digit in the. Well, it'd be the previous row, but that previous row is dependent on a digit in the row before it also. Maybe. Oh, I only need to compute 8 of the digits. Oh. I think I've maybe figured that part. Does that... I only need 8 of the answer. Revved 100 times. But each digit is dependent on every digit after it. Kind of. Katera, hey, what's up? Says nope. Nope to that idea that I had, or nope to upper linear algebra triangles. Oh, the only 8 digit stuff? I mean, the answer's only 8 digits. Let's think about this. In this example here, this is iteration 1. Iteration 2 of this looks like this digit is only dependent on every other digit. You just gave up and you're enjoying others struggling to solve it. Do you know the answer? Do you know the hints? Do you know the trick? Did you look it up? Can you scroll the left screen down a little so we can see more of the numbers? Sure. Yep, no problem, Janimag. So I already know with certainty that every digit is only affected by every digit after it. Oh, so you don't actually know the answer. You might just be messing with me. Neither is the reason I CBA'd. What does that mean? Can't be arsed. Also a foolproof excuse to get you out of any social event. Okay, so here's my thought. Hear me out. Where's the line tool? We imagine our numbers as a series of lines. Got our brushy brush here. Numbers. Yes, pretend they're evenly spaced or whatever. And we look at each sequence. Triangle tool. Triangle tool? Not that way. The fuck? Oh, okay, so it only draws triangles in that direction. Cool. What? You're useless. Do you have a triangle in the other direction? You'd be so helpful if you were rotated ever so slightly. Damn it, man. Okay, well then I'll just draw triangles with lines. This number is based on these numbers here. And this number is based on these numbers here. And so on and so forth. So I think what that means is if we look at, say we're looking at different thing. We're looking at this number in the output. We only care about these numbers in the input. And so we really only need to do the computation for these 8 numbers instead of the whole damn thing. And I think that's how we reduce down to our solution. Annoying friend, hey, come have a drink. Me, can't be asked. Does this sound like a good idea? Is this going to be how we solve this? There's still a lot of numbers for each of those, though. But at least it's only the diagonalization. But it's worse than that, though, because, like, these are still that. Oh, but we can... we can, Oh, that's not true. That's also not true. Fuck. Yeah, that's also not true. Not just the triangles. It happens to be a triangle for these ones. But... where's my drawing tool? So for these it's that, but for this it's this. Isn't this second last line always n minus 2? What do you mean? Is it always -2 for the one up? It depends on this last number. But actually, I figured out all those from here. So if the last number is 0, then the number stays constant. If the last number is 1, then it adds 1 each time until it wraps around. If the number is 2, it adds 2 each time until it wraps around. If it's 3, it adds 3 each time until it wraps around. But these are at period of 10, period of 5. If it's 5, there's a period of 2. So this, I think we've already gotten it to the point where we're already ignoring this part here. Find our 8 digits here. But that still involves us computing this giant, this giant amount of information. When we really, there's gotta be some clever way to reduce that work, though. wonder if we can use the fact that the sequence is repeating. Do anything about it. Or we could start taking hints. You guys could start giving me hints so I can go to sleep. That's another way we could do this. Because I don't think I'm gonna figure this one out. Knowledge says I've just figured out using MS Paint in Ubuntu. Teach me, oh wise one. Yeah. Not actually Ubuntu. It's all a lie. What position in the output am I looking for? Well, if it's one of the later positions, it certainly makes the problem easier. Let's see. It is in the second half, but that actually does make my problem easier. Ever so slightly. Because it's just repeated sums at that point. Janamag says, how long does it take to repeat? Longer than I have time for. Well, it depends. This column always is the same. This one oscillates around depending on presumably depending on the mod of some amount. In the Red's code runs Unity DM on Windows, of course. Yeah. Can I pour your code to C++ and see how much faster it is? Sure, I'll paste you my code, but it's not gonna help. Doubt you'll get through one iteration because we ran it in PyPy and it was not any reasonable amount of time. But yeah, we only care about the 8 digits after this, but that still, I think, involves us giving you the whole thing. I gave you test cases in there. My test cases ran in 104 seconds for all 3 of them. So I can... No. I can reduce the work on the last iteration. I don't care about the digits after the 8. That doesn't solve me... It doesn't save me any time now. Yeah, my problem is that they're still dependent on everything else in the sequence. Anderson says, do you have to recalculate the entire sequence for every position? We've shown that you don't for the last position. The last position will always be the same. Recalculate the entire sequence for every position. We've also shown that you only need to know the numbers after the current position. That still isn't, that's not enough to reduce the problem far enough that it's tangible. Because I don't think my problem is currently dominated by copy time. Henos Track says, hello, why don't you program with Babby? Because it's not done yet. You troll, you. But I think the answer is that I do need to recalculate almost all of the sequence for each position. Could you save some time if you reduce the amount of digits in each calculation? Exclude the ones you know. I'm already getting like some time save out of some like cheeky algorithms, but they're all linear time saves. They're not actually helpful. So like my original answer was just like computing everything. My second reduction was don't compute the second half because or compute the second half in a simpler way because we know that it's just the sum of all the numbers, don't need to do anything with the sequences. And then my second optimization was don't consider the numbers before you in the sequence because they're always going to be multiplied by 0. But all those were just linear reductions. They don't actually save me a lot of computation. What is my time? It's 10:37 p.m. right now. Making Maker says, I'm sorry I haven't got to this day yet. Fine. But can you give me a quick rundown on what the problem is? Sure. We're given a sequence of numbers, and we're given a repeating kind of wave pattern. And each number at each position is essentially the intersection of that wave with the numbers. Ekganta says, what is Advent of Code? Sorry, I don't know anything about programming. Advent of Code is a series of programming puzzles that come out 2 per day in the month of December, and they're increasing in difficulty, as we can see from this one being pretty difficult for me. I am doing a lot of copies here, but I don't think that's where my slowdown is coming from. Ranger says, how long is PyTest Anthony writes code .py is supposed to take? Mine takes 104 seconds on my computer. Just in time for T says, we believe in you. I don't believe in me. At least someone does, I guess. Hey, what's up, Skylord? It's going not so good. We figured out part 1, but part 2 is just finished trying to optimize. Damn, look at this flex here. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing for part 2. I've done some linear optimizations, but I haven't had the aha moment yet where I really understand how to reduce it further and faster. Catherine said, last night I was researching pre-commit. I'm very interested. It's definitely one of those things where if you haven't used it before, it will change a lot of the ways that you look at a lot of things. I was a very different developer before and after that. Hey, what's up, Ekgonta? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. What is the problem? I just tuned in exploring this category of Twitch. It seems fun. Here. I don't know if you'll be able to see part 2, but there's the link for it. Hey, what's up, Infinite Recursive? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I think that'll at least set up the, or at least that'll introduce the problem, but part 2 is the more complicated one. Just set up pre-commit in my admin of code repo last night. Figured I'd give it a try. Nice. It's a little less featured for Go, but I plan to like improve that at some point. Most of the reason it's not so fully featured for Go is because I don't write Go very often, so I don't scratch that itch as much. But I have some ideas on how to make it work a little bit better. Catherine says, I had a problem with double quotes and all results led back to pre-commit. I don't think it solves my immediate problem, but want to use. Immediate problem, I see. My expert friend helped me with the immediate problem. What's the problem with double quotes? I know there's pre-commit hooks that will feed them in 2 different ways. There's black, which will force you to double quotes, and then there's a hook that I wrote called double quote string fixer, which forces you to single quotes. Yeah, that's basically how it works making a maker. Almost rescue LA says, why Python? No reason. It works. I know it. I spent a lot of time in it. Sarcastic Dante says, gotta go to work, see ya? Well, thanks for stopping by. Damn, why are there 47 people watching me struggle through this? This is hilarious. It's just me staring at a bunch of numbers. Like, what are you guys getting out of this? So what is this that I put over here? Your nice background noise. That's fair. That's fair. That's what you keep telling me. That's a long no reason. I forget what these numbers up here are. Starting to lose it, right? Sadistic enjoyment, I guess. Wow. We're struggling vicariously through me. Hmm. Ballard says, "What have you thought of so far?" So I've optimized. I've done a couple of linear optimizations. Mostly like I've realized that all of the digits past the halfway point, so past the halfway point here, are just the sum mod 10. So that's what this optimization is here. Optimization. It's only an optimization because I don't need to figure out this alternating and multiplication and stuff. And the other optimization that I had was that for any of the numbers, for all of the numbers, you only need to consider everything after your index. So because you can just ignore all these zeros, but that doesn't actually save me much time. Eight-layer portal says, because when you get off work after having to take care of the disabled and you want some insane normalcy, yeah, this is my double shot of crop. Aneurysm says you can eliminate that sum. This one or this one? Which one? ON to O1 will save some time. This one. How would I eliminate that sum? Because as far as I understand right now, this digit, this digit here, still needs to sum up all of these to find the last digit that remains. Still needs to add them all together. What is that emote, Homeless? Is that a dunce cap? Oh. I don't quite have a dunce cap, but I can put on my my fake hacker hat. I'll be the sad hacker. Wait, aneurysm. How do I eliminate this sum here? Because if I can eliminate this sum, then the rest of the problem becomes easy, because I already know that my offset is in the second half. Catherine says, I was trying to create a GitHub action for CI to replace talks, but couldn't figure out how to use settings from talks.ini in a GitHub action. Some worked as flags, others, like double quotes enforcement, did not. Friends suggested I use pyproject.toml, not sure how it works, but I will find out. Might be totally unrelated, but it got me reading the docs. Oh. Yeah, it sounds a little unrelated, but yeah. But yeah, you would have to like parse the file, and GitHub Actions only gives you YAML, so you would need to do some other clever stuff there. Can you calculate next list I plus 1 from next list of I? So, just given this number, can I calculate... where did my list of outputs go? This tab? This tab. Can I calculate this number from... Or, sorry, this number from this number? Is what you're saying. Yeah, def in Python is like fun in Kotlin, or func in Go, or function in JavaScript, or... Alright, so looking at this, say we wanted to calculate... Actually, I don't know. Jim, why is your computer so slow, stranger? Holy shit. 778 seconds. Mine did it in 100. I guess it's only 7 times slower. Oh wait, no. Yeah. Naive C++ translation is over 100 times faster. Oh, that's probably CPython that you're looking at, that you're comparing against. But even like 20 times faster is still going to be in the hundreds of hours for me. So it, like, I need like an exponentially faster solution than what I have right now. Like I need to somehow not be doing linear work for each digit, I think, in order to solve this. CPython, you're down to 60 seconds for part 2. Yes, babe Angela, it's essentially leet code, but it's a little bit more organized than that. And like there's points involved, and there's leaderboards, and there's a bunch of pros, which is real nice. Okay, but I'm hearing your hint that I somehow need to avoid this linear work here. If I could make a breakthrough on this linear work here, then I could solve the problem without waiting until the heat death of the universe. I've not figured it out yet, Psycode. But in theory, according to the hint that I've been given, I should be able to compute this number given this number. Maybe not for the first iteration, though. Does the answer to the first iteration tell you something about the numbers before it? Is it useful for job interviews? Only in that, like, you learn some approaches to solving problems quickly, I guess. Or, like, things to try or things to think about. I think that's the way it would help you with job interviews. If I saw this on a job interview, I'd walk out. I don't know. I think programming job interviews don't really give you good signal about how someone is going to contribute as an engineer. especially because very little of, at least work that I've been involved in, I don't know if this is representative for everything in the industry, but the companies I've been at, very little of it is algorithmic, and almost all of it is like communication and planning, output, testing, validating features, having good intuition about like how to approach problems, and less so about like, oh well, you could have optimized this by using a sort here. What is that emote side code? A root of some sort? What is that you have there, Kthra? In part 1, I create a transformation matrix from the pattern. Let's call it M. These steps become M matrix times U mod 10, where U is the input. In part 2, I thought I can use this fact. I don't know what it's called, but the matrix times U mod 10 is equal to the matrix squared times U mod 10. Yeah, I don't know that that helps either. Oh. I do repeat this sum over and over. So we could generate a table of the sums up front. That would reduce a lot of the work. That would reduce a lot of the work. Is it enough to solve the problem fast enough, though? And we only care about it for the second halves of the numbers. Trader says, in your test cases, the first inner loop is iterated 0 times. Is that intentional? Yes, if the offset is in this, if the offset is in the second half of the, is in the second, oh, I'm losing my voice. If the offset is in the second half, damn. Let me get a drink of water. Thank you, Anagon Live, for the raid. But yeah, if the offset is in the second half of the list, we don't have to do this slow path. We only do this faster path. But I think we can get the path even faster. And since my offset is in the second half, I think that gets us down to linear time. Or well, n squared time, but... Okay, let's make a sums table. How do I do this? Oh, that's probably the trick then. Yep, still GNU Nano in 2019. Okay, so this is how I can create my reverse sums table. And then this becomes that. Hey, what's up, Gao Tactical? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Bix plays sent unlurk. Bix plays says your goal should be to replace the default of Nana with Babby if you get to that point. Yes, that is the eventual goal. Have not quite gotten to that yet. This is faster but wrong, so I'm off by something. But yeah, I do plan to replace Nano with Babby as my daily driver once I get to that. Oh, the default ship with Linux as operating system, not what you use. No, I don't think that'll ever happen. Especially because it has a dependency on Python. Oh, I forgot to reverse them. Read 60 lines, 69 lines. Nice. Yeah. How much faster is this now than the other time? 25 seconds, so that's 4 times faster. That's another optimization. Still pretty slow. It's not a big deal. It can still be the default for Manjaro since it ships with Python. Yeah, I think most operating systems ship with Python, but like the bare bones Debian does not. That's the problem. Reinstalled i3, by the way, decided to give it a try again. I tried i3 on stream the other day. It did not go well. It was fun though, but it did not go well. Catherine says, why are you wearing a cap? Did you go outside or is it for fashion? It's for fashion. It's my hacker hat. Currently watching you and 3 other streams. Damn, I wish I could have that amount of what's the word? If I could pay attention to that many things. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I can just inline this. It really makes no difference. It's not any faster. I can compute fewer of these. That's workable. Okay. This'll compute. Wow, it was really just the summing of the numbers that was slow. Damn. Huh. Cool. Alright, I don't feel so bad. I also feel like I didn't take that many hits there. So it's not bad. That's cool. Alright. That's legit. And I do think that, like, the two optimizations that I made necessarily made this easier. So I was pretty close in getting it right. But, yeah, okay. That's cool. I'm gonna use part 1B as my solution, though. Took 2 hours and 6 minutes to finish this day, yeah. Yeah, it took me a while. You caught on to the first major optimization quickly. Yeah, I had it almost instantly. That one was not so bad. Let's see. Part 1A. Yeah, I had figured out the first optimization within 30 minutes. Actually, 20 minutes from the time I completed part 1. So, yeah. Now on to part 3. Oh no. Oh no no no. Part 3 of fanfiction. Oh no, the signal quality is far worse than you originally thought. It's actually 100 phases per kilometer of distance. Fuck. Distance from your Earth to Uranus. From someone who hasn't completed part 2 yet, please stop. Yeah, we're not doing that. But we will do it in a different programming language. So what do you guys want to see today? Rockstar. This Rockstar. Rockstar Lang. Why is there no example? This is too memey. I want something like compiled and not something that I've done already. I did day 4 in SQLite, so like I don't see how it'd be that so bad. And Ganta says, I don't know anything about programming. Could you explain how you did it in layman terms? Yeah, let me show you the jumps that I made. So my part 1 was just the very dumb solution, like implement it exactly to spec, no optimizations, no attempts to make it any faster in any way. And so I was basically just like, parse the input, do a loop over the output, and we need to do a computation for each index. And we have the pattern that we were given in, so the 0, 1, 0, -1. I multiply that out using this generator, which basically allows it to expand to more things. So like this is the repeat count, where basically 0, 5, say n is 5, you'll end up with 5 zeros, then 5 ones, then 5 zeros, then 5 -1s, and that's what this whole thing will spit out. Then I use itertools.cycle. This just makes it repeat that pattern over and over and over. The problem said to discard one number from it, so that's what I do here. And then I just sum up the addition of all those numbers and append it, mod 10. That was what I started with. I then noticed a pattern in that the second half of the numbers, here's basically the first algorithm that I had before. I noticed that the second half of the numbers are just the sum of everything after it. So I made that leap here. Then I made an optimization about the first half of the numbers, but it ended up not mattering. The first half of the numbers, I noticed that we can ignore all the zeros to the left of it. Doesn't really make a difference. And then the last jump that I made, or the last 2 jumps that I made, was that we only care about the numbers after our offset, so we can ignore everything before that. So we chop off from our offset onwards. And I also noticed that sum can be pre-computed. We can do that in linear time, so I pre-compute the sums up here. And again, skip a bunch and pad my array with this. But yeah, that's basically how I figured it out. Do it in PHP. I guess I could do it in PHP. I've already done nim talent deficient. I did nim already once. Can you write a 3D renderer in Pygame? I haven't played Pygame. Crystal, I could do Crystal. Crystal is a meme language. I guess I could do Crystal. Let me commit this and then let me grab my 3 solutions. This is cute jump 2, and then we'll also put the third optimized solution in here as well. Hey, what's up? Oh, Jizzles. Thank you for the follow. Nice name. And Thifum. Thank you for the follow. Actually, this one's too much work to make it work for part 1. What am I doing here? It's not even the right code. Sorry for asking again. What is linear time? So linear means that, like, say you have. So in this example, there's 8 inputs here. In order to compute something like sum, you need to consider every single thing in the unit in that list exactly once. So it means that, like, as that list grows, the amount of time it's going to take is also going to grow in a linear relationship with that. Basically, it means, like, given an input, you look at each input once. Oh wait, what the fuck? Optimization 2 is giving a different answer. What? Also, what is jump 3? Is this supposed to be the sums table? That's weird. Why? Why? Oh, I needed a new pattern. Part 1b.py. Did I change this pattern? I did. Yeah. Let's just inline that so that it works out. I'm not gonna run this one 5 times. Thank you for all your inputs. Yeah, no problem. Fixed Place says, are you gonna have an overnight stream for New Year's? I wish. Unfortunately, my internet connection at my home, which is where I'm gonna be over New Year's, is fucking awful. So I'm probably not gonna be able to stream, or this is still wrong. What gives? Oh. 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 I think I'll do Crystal. Someone in chat was talking about Crystal the other day. I forget who it is, but they were very enthusiastic about Crystal. I feel you, though I also have pretty bad internet. I can barely download 480p video. That's how bad my home internet is. And it, like, goes out all the time. Okay, there we go. Now we actually have the right answer. Okay. Let's copy this. Day 16. Day 16. That trailing white space. init.py, part1.py, and input.text. Day 16, part 1. Missing a annotation generator int none. I have 1 meg upload speed. It freaking sucks. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Ethan says, "Ugh, I can't get a Docker bind mount to work." Yeah, true. Docker is a fun time. Also, lol, Anthony looking all hacker man in that beanie. Yeah, it's hacker man time. It's we're ready. Oh, we gotta get rid of the prince there. With my unnecessary F string. Biggs plays, K-Mate, I'm off, peace out. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, my home is in a rural area in Michigan. Psycode says, can I have Babby? Yes, you can get clone it. github.com/easytilly/Babby. It is right there. Oh no. Oh no. Trader says, should I buy Comcast service just for streaming? 4 hours of tuning router settings and such, and I've made little progress on my frame drops issues. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I actually changed my internet provider to stream more reliably. I used to be on Comcast, and they were not helpful. So I switched to a company called Wave, and they've actually been great, except for a 2-week period where I had 40% or 20 to 40% packet loss for no explanation. And then it just magically fixed itself. I don't have any explanation for it. Day 16, part 2. Hey, what's up, Valo Kudari? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Oh, we have that same type annotation that I forgot to update here. Oh man, type is all over the place because I can't see. Like straining my eyes to see my keyboard or my screen. Fuck Comcast, yeah, I hear that as well. Do your best movie hacker impression. Me. Spams keys on the keyboard real quick in a deep voice. I'm in. There's actually a clip. I think someone clipped it last time I did my really shitty hacker impression. See if we can find it. This clip is fucking hilarious. Where is it? Here we go. Yeah, look at this sick code, Keith. We're getting it. Almost got it. Oh, they cut it off too early. That was right when I said, I'm in. Oh well. Okay. Crystal? Is that the language we're doing today? Gonna do some crystal? Crystal Lang, not crystal meth. I hear it's like Ruby, but... Ubuntu. No, I don't want to do that. I just want to download... They're not just like a Linux x86 64 build. Is that too much to ask for? From TGZ. Here we go. Releases. Crystal, Linux x86 64. Dude, it's the Windows download nub. Yeah. apt-get install. apt-get install Wave Internets. Yeah, if only. If only figured that was simple. Alright, how large is this language's runtime? 86 megs, that's the smallest one we've downloaded so far. Okay. Port some CODs. put Crystal on the path. Alright. Crystal. Alright, we're doing the tab counting game. Crystal Lang. Hello world. Write this whole thing in Babby. Okay, we could do that. This alias nano equals Babby. Okay, we got Babby now. We're about to see some really frustrating parts of Babby though. Mostly in that my keyboard shortcut for quitting doesn't prompt for saving right now, so I'm gonna lose my progress several times. Ekanta says, what is Babby? Babby is my text editor. I wrote it from scratch in Python. It can edit itself. Babby.py. So you can see it is a text editor. You can enter, you can do all sorts of stuff in it. It has undo and redo. You can search for stuff. It has a search history, so you can see like all of the things that I've searched for previously. You can also reverse search through them, so I can get to like search real quickly. It has a color test, which will eventually be used for syntax highlighting, but I haven't implemented syntax highlighting yet. That's an eventual me thing, but we'll get there eventually. All right, Hello World in Crystal looks like Ruby. Okay. Let me copy my Ruby code from day 14? Was it? Day 13? Yeah. And see how far that gets us. Part 1 dot, what is the file extension? Fucking awesome. /div. Really? Really, guys? .cr. If argv.empty puts usage oh fuck, see? That's what I'm gonna run into a bunch of times. Let's actually I'm gonna put an alias just temporarily for save so I don't lose a bunch of time. See, I tried to do Control O right there. So now part1.br. And yes, I'm still typing nano, but it's opening Babby. Empty puts. I don't have the tab key, so that's another annoying thing about Babby right now. Okay, how do I build this thing? Bin crystal hello.cr. Crystal part1.cr. Cannot find lpcre. This usually means you need to install libpcre dev. Let's try that. The programming which edits a plain text file, no formatting. Yeah, it'll eventually have formatting. XI Vlad says, why make your own text editor? For a couple of reasons. One is I wanted to learn curses. 2 is chat makes fun of me for using Nano. 3, Nano 3 removed one of my favorite features, and so I want to re-implement it. 4, I wanted to customize Nano, and it's written in C, and it's a lot of work to customize it. That said, I have contributed to Nano, so if you... this is Nano on the right, which means I didn't set up my alias properly. But I actually added this functionality to Nano, jumping by word with using the arrow keys. And I actually just implemented that in Babby. Search lib pcre dev. What is the package actually called? 3-dev? 2-dev? 3-dev. But yeah, those are the main reasons for doing it. But it's been a fun learning experience, and it's actually pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with what I've done with Babby so far. The most comparable between Babby and some other editor would be Nano. Psycode says it's 2:30 a.m. and I'm not planning on sleeping. Nice. Decently fast and reliable internet connection is a legal right in Finland. Oof, jelly. I'm past the 5-minute mark and no drop frame so far. Nice. I may have found the magic connection, or my ISP is giving me some slack. Sudo implement tab in Babby. Yeah, I could do that. It actually wouldn't be that hard to simulate it. We could implement a crappy version of it. Where is this code? Elif key.wch is equal to tab screen.file.tab. It's gonna be a really crappy version. It's not gonna align to a tab width, but that's fine. I'm just gonna make it insert 4 spaces. Self.x equals self.x hint equals self.x plus 4. Self.modified equals true. Restore the EOF invariant. Oh, and I forgot to give it an actual function name. Yeah, this is missing a colon. Identify name margin, capital margin. That's not Babby. Hey, look, I have tab now. See? It's not so bad. But like, being able to add a feature like that to Nano would have taken me hours of figuring out how the C works and like making a bunch of seg faults and all sorts of shenanigans, but very, very quick and easy with Python and Babby. Make pressing tab add 2 spaces. Just use 1 space indent and remap tab to space and X. Yeah, that'd be some next level stuff. Sudo say lol in chat. Called lib event dev? Sure. Oh. Okay, so we have the first part working. Surely this is going to work, right? Oh, see, I did it again. Oh, it's saved though, at least. Oh, cool. You already have a small file. Expected a function type, not symbol. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Hmm. Well, we're already off to losing some Ruby there. So Babby is the text editor you made for Python. Am I understanding that right? You like Nano, but that was C, and a newer version doesn't have the same functionality as the older one did for Nano. Yes, that's a good summarization. It's a little bit oversimplified, but yeah, about right. Okay, how? Let's see. Map strings to integers. Crystal Lang. Parse integer, Crystal Lang. Int, cool. Well, that's not how it works. Maybe it's in the string type? Is there a character type? There. My guess is I have a character type. $2F returns the integer value of this character as a float, or if it's an ASCII character denoting a digit. Why would I want a float? I want 2I. There we go. Why did you say Crystal is a meme language? I don't know. Oh. Because it's like it's pretending to be Ruby. It's not, I don't know. I don't know that there's a lot of production code written in Crystal. Undefined method map for string. Add string here, right? String. Probably like a dot chars or something. Bytes? No. Dot chars. Okay, cool. We can parse the integers. I did say that it was a meme language. I did say that. Maybe not a fair assertion, but it is what I said. Oops, we crashed something. What did I crash? Name error. Breakpoint is not defined. Oh, I crashed this thing. There's a little Python script that runs in between all the commands that run. So if I hold down Control-C, it crashes. Okay, let's implement just the dumb solution in Python. I have my Ruby array. That day 15? Can't be damned, it's one of these days. Oh, this is an int code day. Okay. So I don't really have numbered loops here, so that's fine. I'm happy. Let's hope my internet is like this tomorrow. Hopefully it is. Psycode says, can you program a Lua to Python compiler? I have never taken compilers, so I don't really know much about them or how to write them or like what they should do. I do want to learn how to write a compiler at some point, but I'm not yet that clever. One Love IPFS says, Stranger, waiting for Starlink. I wonder when Starlink is going to get here. Archiatis says, was it worth it to graduate from university? I don't know. I don't think I learned all that much in university that was useful or applicable, but it is useful to get in the door, at least at a first job, and then from there, like, that's fine. I don't know. I think most of my like programming knowledge was self-taught. And I can thank myself for that one, right? Change object. Each. That's the thing. That's the thing that I was doing before, right? The problem with these is they don't have great examples. Triple dot, is that the thing in Ruby? Oops. Hey, what's up, Stovoy? Thank you for the host / raid / whichever. We're implementing some crystal right now, which is a fun one. Hey, what's up, guy number 9? Thank you for the follow. Oh, I guess I should edit my stream info to say crystal. Edit Python. Stovoy says I couldn't solve it today. Oh man. I struggled hard with part 2. I made several optimizations that got me closer to the answer, and then I had one hint from someone in chat, but the hint didn't quite help me until I figured out how to... I kind of figured it out myself. So it turns out... I mean, I ended up not using any math hacks. There wasn't anything that... well, I guess... I noticed 2 patterns in the problem that allowed me to do some linear simplifications. Like reduce the problem by, I think it was by like 6 or 7x. And then I found, I found 3 linear optimizations, so that reduced the problem by about 1000x. Hey, what's up, Luke6? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. And then I was still too slow. It was still going to take hundreds of hours to complete. But then I figured out one last trick that involves doing some pre-computation. And then, oh, you found, yeah, that's the important optimization. That's the one that, the second half. That's the important optimization. So you've gotten at least to the part where it's not so hard to complete. You just need to like figure out the last little bit. Unfortunately, at least for my input, the number was in the second half, so I didn't have to do much computation. How long has it been since you graduated? I graduated in 2013. One Love IPFS says, I was in an astronomy chat and they really hate Starlink though. We have to convince people it's worth it who already have solid fiber internet and money. El Bulakul says, I just left my work and I'll be free for like 2 to 3 weeks. This is a really precious time for myself and I'm truly interested in learning to code. I've dabbled with Python, JavaScript, etc. My question is there a website you'd suggest to learn a programming language from scratch to full? It's pretty hard to be like, I'd even say like I'm not great at like all programming language or like a programming language from every aspect of it. And so like I don't know that that's a possibility for anything. I think programming is more about like how you can find your information. So like today I'm working in a language called Crystal that I've never written code in before, but I kind of know how what I want to solve and how I want to get there. And a lot of what I'm doing is like being able to search through their docs efficiently, like being able to put the right things into Google to get to like some examples. I happen to know that like this language is very similar to one that I know slightly better, so I know a little bit of Ruby. And so this is like helping me get there a little bit. But like it's learning and mastery of programming languages for me is more like how can I apply the concepts that I already know to something that looks very, very similar. Hopefully that gives you some direction, but if you're learning programming for the first time, I would suggest like finding a series of like classes and lectures online and like going in that direction. I mean, for Python, there's a ton of great resources about like getting started. So like learnpython.org is one example, but there's a whole bunch of other ones that are like that. One Love IPFS says, excellent stream, Anthony. Thanks for sharing with us. Yeah, no problem. Happy to chat. That's why I do this, because it's fun. Kev Burns Jr. says, oh snap, you don't even need to calculate the first half. Yes, that's another jump that I also made. Hey, what's up, Denze? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Catherine says, did you learn about GOF design patterns? Scholars are factoring clean architecture, things like that in college. Do you think these things are really important in day-to-day professional dev or more theoretical? Not gonna lie, I'm gonna look up what GOF is. Does this answer your question? We did learn about a lot of design patterns in school. Like, I don't know, like facades and adapter patterns and stuff like that. But I don't know that they were all that useful or interesting. And honestly, like a lot of the programming that I do nowadays, like I do apply some of those patterns, like adapters are particularly useful because you're constantly dealing with two different libraries and you need to essentially glue their two code together or like make one thing look like some other interface. But most of the patterns that we learn in school, I don't think I ever use. I guess visitor pattern I use. But that's because I deal with the AST a lot. And like node visitors are basically all you write over and over and over. Dealing with like the different tree traversal approaches, I guess. I don't know, I feel like, well, we definitely didn't do any refactoring or clean architecture in school. School was just like, chug out code, make sure it has the right answer, and then move on with your life. Don't worry about tests, don't worry about any of that other shit. Just like, make it work and go, which I think was pretty bad. The intro to class that I taught, we actually tried to stress a little bit better, like, validation patterns. So at least we had our students like, oh, come up with inputs for these problems and make sure that your code continues to work after you make modifications and stuff. Trader says, good advice, can I steal it? Yeah, by all means. Steal whatever I say. If you think it's good, then keep repeating it. If you think it's bad, tell me I'm bad and I'll fix it. One Love IPFS says, makes me think it would be nice to have a single platform for code examples like we have Stack Overflow for bugs and fixes. Yeah, I guess that would be true, because like, and honestly, let me like take that and go a little bit left field a little bit. I don't think I would be a programmer today if it weren't for the way the PHP docs were set up. And you might be like, PHP, that's a shitty language. Why would you attribute your success to such a crappy thing? And the reason that I think PHP was really good in what it did was anytime you looked up a function, it dropped you on a documentation page. And it had the function signature, like all the parameters that it took, descriptions of the parameters. Cool, that's good. But I was a beginning programmer, so I didn't, like, it might have told me, oh yeah, this borrows a reference and returns a value, or like something like that. Like, that meant fuck all to me. Like, cool, awesome. Or this requires this sort of type. Like, having barely knowing what I was doing, that wasn't super useful to me. But what was super great about the PHP documentation pages, and I think it's still this way, was below any of the functions, there were user-submitted samples of code that used those functions and showed how each of those worked. Hey, what's up, the dreaded one? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. And, like, being able to see curated examples of how code, or how particular functions were used, was very, very useful. And it also meant that, like, I could copy and paste them and run them and see what they did and, like, play with them and see how they worked. And whenever I was like solving a problem, I could take someone else's solution and modify the code, tweak the code a little bit to do exactly what I was doing. And yeah, I just like, without that, I think I probably would have got, like, if I got dropped on, like, I mean, not to use like the crystal page as an example, but if I got dropped on this page, as you're seeing right now, like, I'm looking at these definitions and I'm like, I don't know what this means. And like, some of these have examples down here, which is good, but some of them don't. Like minus other big rational. Cool. Like, I happen to know this is an operator, and I know how operators work, so I can kind of intuit how these work. But like, I don't know. This is useful. Like, this has examples here, but like, no, without the PHP doc pages, I don't think I would have been here today. It's just saying. Oh yeah, and as Stranger points out, it's just php.net/functioname, so it was also really easy to discover them. You didn't have to like feed through Google or like find this wacky URL that I'm never going to remember. For a good website doing programming languages, I recommend YouTube. Yeah, there's a lot of good YouTube content nowadays. Not saying my content's good, but other people's content is good. GitHub is a sort of form of that, I guess, but it's not very explained like this blog format is. Yeah, that's true. How did you teach yourself? Most of my self-taught was like, I had an idea of a project that I wanted, and then I would just hack on it until it's done. So like, one example that I brought up last stream was, I had chores as a kid, and maybe I should use a different example. We already used that one. Okay, here's a different example. I was part of a media productions course in middle school, and we gave the school news every day over telecast, essentially. Like, we had an internal TV station, essentially. And we wanted to get feedback from the students at our school, and we originally did that with, like, you could drop off a piece of paper at the classroom that we did media productions in, but we found that no one fucking did that, because like, who's gonna walk to that end of the school and have paper on them and like scribble feedback on that? Like, that's dumb. And my friend and I were like, oh, like, I bet we could make a website for this. Websites are cool, the internet is cool, let's make a website. And so we like learned the necessary bits to set up a like rudimentary website that was our like school news website thing. And then we were like, oh, well, if we want to take user submission, we need to figure out how forms work, and then from forms we need to figure out how data storage works, we need to have a database, and we need to figure out how a database works, and like, it kind of spiraled out a bit from there. But we eventually built this website that we hosted on the school's computers that had form submission, and we eventually took that and did some other stuff with it. Like, we did trivia, and we ended up having a games section with like web games and stuff, and it was great because it was on the school's domain, And so the internet filters didn't apply to the edu domains, and so we could basically put up whatever games we wanted and fuck around on school computers. And I remember one time walking into a class or into the computer lab, and literally every screen in the computer lab had my website up, and people were playing games on it. And it was just like a pretty cool thing to see. But anyway, yeah, like I taught myself mostly by like having a project in mind and then like just hammering it out until it was done and working. GF is old school Java stuff from like the 90s. Gang of Four. It's like a Bible for design patterns. Yeah, that does answer your question. Cool. Facade, a visitor, and adapter are all GOF stuff. Yeah. Squirtle says software eng or CS degree in your opinion? Well, they didn't really have a difference. Well, they didn't. There weren't two different degrees at Michigan. There was just a computer science degree. I guess you could do electrical engineering, but that doesn't necessarily apply. We didn't have a software engineering degree. There were courses that offered software engineering principles, but like they were almost always out of date. Like I want to say they were teaching the waterfall pattern when I was in school, and that was in 2013, and that was already mostly not a best practice at that point. Yeah, it was basically only computer science free. And my computer science was mostly theoretical. There wasn't too much practical that we got out of it. There were a few courses that were practical, like the databases courses, and there was a web course that was a little bit dated, but it was more practical than the other thing. Things you list are extremely important in my day-to-day. However, I was a professional engineer for over 5 years without really grokking them. They're not necessary to be successful, but they're super handy tools if you know how to use them. Yeah, I definitely think like knowing how to refactor is probably the biggest skill that I use on a day-to-day basis. Code says how to swallow/digest air. Hopefully that works. We'll find out, right? Hey, what's up, Michael? Hello, hello. One Love IBVS says, great story about the school stuff. Reminds me of being in 2nd grade in school and wanting to throw away 3 working computers, leaving us only 1 because it ran Novell. I remember Novell. At that age, like 7 or so I reinstalled Windows 95 and installed Oregon Trail, and everyone played it all year. It was so sweet. Nice. Yeah, we're writing Crystal, Emmy. We haven't gotten very far because I've been chatting with chat. And we're also using Babby, so we're not using Nano today. So no syntax highlighting. We'll do. Oh yeah, right. Tab always inserts 4 spaces because I just quickly threw it together so that I could use it at all. There's no shift tab. Yeah, that's what we're doing. But I'm basically porting this logic over, so it shouldn't be that bad. Assuming there's some sort of generator-like thing in Crystal. How do I make a new array or list? Is there a list type? Are arrays mutable? This we'll find out by clicking on array. When creating an empty array, you must always specify t. Oh, you know it's good when a language has a .from YAML as a built-in function. Okay, push, cool. Unexpected token equals. Really? What do you mean? Unexpected token equals. Is it because next is a keyword? Can't use int as a generic type argument yet. Use a more specific type. Int 32. Okay. Got that. We need to figure out our pattern thing. Let's see, generator, Crystal Lang. Generator functions, there's an open issue for it, so that makes me think that they don't exist. Trader's heading off to bed. Well, thanks for stopping by, friend. I'll see you around in the future. Tactile Dactyle says, what are the paradigms of crystal? It's supposed to be a strongly typed ruby, is the idea that I've gotten from it so far. Yeah, Novell, them were the days of Windows computing. Guess children in schools nowadays have zero freedom like we used to on Windows 95/XP. Yeah. I could always get around stuff. I got in trouble in school for breaking some of the walls that they had. And Ganta says, alright, I'll go to bed. Do you generally stream this late, or do you stream during the day or evenings as well? Usually I stream on Saturdays at 11 a.m. However, during Advent of Code, I'll be streaming the same time slot, at least until the 18th, and then I won't be streaming until next year, unfortunately. Catherine says, you seem really fluent at writing code. Presumably when you got your first job, you were spending a lot more time looking things up and got faster over time. At least with Python, I know my way around nowadays. But yeah, when I got my first job, I had already been programming for almost like 5 years or so at that point. Although that was a QA job where I was given a 10-week task that I instead wrote code to automate it for me in 1 week. So then I didn't have to do that, and they switched me to be a software engineer instead. But yeah, I think I spend less time looking stuff up now, but at least I like kind of know what I'm doing, I guess. Playing Flash games probably doesn't work on Chromebooks. Did we clip me consuming air? My code says how to swallow/digest air. Hopefully that works. We'll find out, right? Oh my god. Prince Jr. says, woot, solid phase 2, nice. Now do part 3. And tomorrow's language be COBOL, so I actually started trying to write COBOL, but it turns out it's really hard to get a COBOL compiler that works in the year 2019. But then again, every child has a computer in school now versus back then when we only had 4 per 22 students. Yeah, that's true. Wish schools ran more free open source software so we could keep the devices working for longer. Yeah, it's true, because a lot of schools nowadays are running like MacBooks, and it's like, well, time for your year 2 obsolescence. Hoping my new high school has computer labs so I can code on an actual IDE rather than a website because Chromebooks. Yeah. Well, you can get like a terminal app for Chromebooks, and then you could use like Vim, which is not really an IDE, but at least it's slightly better. Remove the write protection screw and install Ubuntu. Yeah, a lot of banks still use COBOL, although I know, what is it? The Bank of America? I don't know. One of them uses Python 2.6. So at least they're in the year 2009, at least. Michigan, the university, runs a lot of COBOL. Okay, anyway, we need to make a repeated sequence here, unfortunately. So this is unfortunate. Because Python makes this dead simple. Let's see. Air tools cycle in in Crystal. Crystal Lang. Oh, I'm never gonna be able to find this. Hey look, Advent of Code. Chronal Calibration. This was 2018's. I remember that. Alright, we're not gonna find anything useful there. Oh my fucking god, you can do this with macros. Amazing. Okay, but we need to essentially build this thing. I'm honestly just gonna do search for Ruby and assume it works. While conditional do. Oh, actually, we can just like have. Zero, 1, 0, -1, and then n equals 1. Or wait. Pattern idx equals 0, n equals 1, because we're always skipping 1. Sum equals 0. Oh wait, we need these inside. Oh right, we can't do... There's so many things that don't work in Babby. Probably look up Ruby idioms. Yeah, that's my guess here. Tactile, dactyle. Really slow to my shroot runs faster. Oh no. I think you can just call cycle on the array, right? Is that a thing? Probably. Let's see. Yes. Yes. How does it work? Why is there no example? How do you break? The non-positive number is given or the collection is... How do you interrupt the loop? You're abusing tabs in Babby, yeah. How do you interrupt a block in Ruby? Oh, break, I guess? Okay. So this builds up the pattern. Is it like this? I don't know. Enumerate Ruby. Python's enumerate in Ruby. Each with index. Is there a cycle with index? Seems there is no cycle with index. Sum plus equals y times ints of I. If I is greater than ints.count, then break. I think. See what that does. Expected bracket, not colon. Alright, we'll just print all of them then. That's not how you do a slice. Array int3 count is expected to be invoked with a block, but no block was given. Oh, that's not how you look at the size of an array. Count is an iterable. I want array. Size. Oh, look, we can do search and replace. So nice, except I fucked up. Index out of bounds. I'm gonna go fill up my water. I will be right back. Okay, so I have these backwards. There we go. Looks better. 1 0 negative 1 0 1 0 negative 1 0. Cool. Index out of bounds. Oops. Still index out of bounds. Line 26. Hey, thank you for the follow, Melano. Welcome to the stream. How's this out of bounds? Oh, greater than or equal to. Sweet. Next inst dot push sum mod 10. Okay, so that did something. Let me run one of the test cases. Oh, but I need the absolute value of that. Right. Yeah, isn't that emote great, Alice? So good. Must be a method of integer, if I'm guessing. Where's int? Int. Yeah. Sum dot abs. Probably some thing here. Let's see. Is it in integer? No. Is it in iterable? Iterator? Sum. There we go. Okay. Is this the more Ruby-ish way to do this? That can't be right. Undefined method sum for nil. What character did I just try and press? Control at? Can't return from a top level. Okay, never mind. We're going back to the crappy way to do this. Undefined method abs for nil. Oh, yes. Oh, I did control space, which is this, because I assumed it was old nano, because it looks like old nano. Is this where I put the... Yeah, I want t2.text. Okay, so the first 8 characters, 2, 4, 1, 7, 6, 1, 7, 6. Okay, so we need to just print those. Select returns. How do I get a slice? Let's Let's see. Array slice. Each slice. Same as each dot slice. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Oh, maybe if I look at iterator, it will tell me. Iterator. Returns an iterator that returns slices of n elements from the initial iterator. Oh, that's not what I want. I want that first. How to crystal. Int dot first 8 dot each do n print n and puts. Hey, there we go. Okay, so I implemented the naive part 1 in Crystal. Is it good Crystal? Probably not. Does anyone actually know Crystal in the chat? Does anyone know Ruby in the chat? Either of which would be applicable here. But my guess is neither is true. Also, this looks wrong, and this looks wrong. Chris Bill says, I know a bit of Ruby and I'm trying to learn some Crystal. You and me both, buddy. You and me both. I know it's a programming language, there you go. Further than me a couple days ago. I know it's highlighted, the color it gets on GitHub is black. Yeah, let's try and do part 2. Part 1.cr. Part 2.cr. Okay, what did we change in part 2? Let's look at the string type. Somehow I think we're not going to open that many tabs today. Returns a substring by using the range's begin and end indices. That sounds cool. That sounds like what I want. How do I do that? Oh, that's how you do slices in Ruby. Oh. Makes so much sense now. Oh, I just edited part 1 again, didn't I? Yeah, there we go. First 7 of that should have been 4, 5, 6, 7. We should have got 303, 673. Cool. Cool. But now we need to duplicate this array 1,000 times, or 10,000 times. Lycode says, can you make Unity games? I tried to make a Unity game once, a long time ago. It was not very effective. Let's see if we can just multiply an array. Times, return a new array built by concatenate times copies of self. Dope. That's exactly what we want. Times 10,000. Okay, sums equals ints -1. Ints offset to -1. There's probably a reverse. Where's iterable? Iterator. Nope, there is no backwards. Reverse. Reverse is an array with all the elements in the collection. Returns a new array. Okay. Reverse. Each do n sums dot push sums -1 plus n. Okay, so that's our sums table. That was the last leap that I made. Hey, Upjump is now hosting me. Thank you, friendo. And Rafarios33 has followed. Thank you for the follow and welcome to the stream. How are you doing, Upjump? How's your day going? Well, kind of figure out MongoDB. Oh, that's a fun one. I remember my days of Mongo. Oof. Mostly avoided it for a while. And Psycode is also hosting me with one viewer. I assume it's just you though, Psycode. Oh, this pair of socks is broken. I guess I will get rid of it. I went to pull my sock up and it just ripped the heel out. So, time for a new pair of socks. Okay, so we implemented this chunk. Now we need to do this chunk. Which is a new pattern thing. Although I know that I know we can just skip this because I know I can skip this because of the way the inputs are. So we're just gonna cheat and skip this. Which means I don't actually need this pattern stuff at all. What are comments in this? Probably this. So that's fine. Let's see. Offset to int.size to oh, that's actually exactly what I have right here. How did I know to do that already? Huh. Clever. Next ints dot push abs of thumbs idx mod 10. Weird how much simpler that is than part 1. Index out of bounds. On line 97. That's not part of my program. Line 20. Oh, sums is out of bounds. Why didn't this print at all? Oh, we forgot to do this. Sums. Didn't change anything though. Oh yeah, it does change things because we have this. Oops, we print lots. Is that what we got in Python? What? Number looks familiar. It could be right. Upjump says, took some getting used to, spent an hour trying to figure out how to delete documents. Oh yeah. I mean, if you come from like a relational background, MongoDB will be pretty different. Also, wow, the Crystal solution is way faster than the Python solution here. What even? Holy crap, this is so slow. I forgot how slow it was. Oh, we got a different number. That's not good. Means I have to keep working on this. 9276839 is what we expect there. My guess is this is somehow wrong. Oh, am I running it against t2.txt? That's the problem. Let's see what t2 is supposed to be. Oh, perfect. It is right, in theory. And it is still kind of slow for the large input. 92768 Sweet. Implement day 16 in crystal. Now we fix some trailing white space here. Right, yeah. Cool. That about wraps it up for today. Oh, it's 12:40. Great. Alright, well, let me do my little spiel, and then I'll send you guys off to some other channel. But first, we'll count how many tabs I open. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18, 19, 20, 21 tabs, so not that many. But yeah, if you like the content and what you saw here, I upload everything after the fact to YouTube, so if you missed anything, you can check that out. You can also check out previous streams, so I have all of my Advent of Code stuff up there. And as I complete days, I'll be uploading that as well. I usually work on Python open source stuff, so like code formatters, linters, testing frameworks, stuff like that. Although recently I've been spending most of my open source Python streams working on my text editor, which you saw a bit of a preview of today, as I used it to edit Crystal, which actually went more smoothly than I expected. Not being able to dedent was a little bit annoying. For whatever reason, I've been using Control Space as a keyboard shortcut, not really thinking about it. So I can add that as an alias to Control right arrow key, which is what I expect it to be. Although I kind of want it to be the tab completion when that eventually happens, so I might have to unlearn that behavior. But anyway, that's what I've been working on recently. I usually stream on Saturdays at 11 a.m. That's that normal slot. However, I did my last stream of that slot of the year yesterday. But I'm going to be streaming Advent of Code each day, so if you stop by at midnight Eastern for the next 2 days before I head out to the land of really crappy internet, you can catch me working on Advent of Code. I usually announce my streams in 2 places. One of those is on Twitter. That's twitter.com/codewithanthony. Usually I say something like, I'll be streaming in 60 minutes, come hang out with me. And so that's a thing that happens there. I also announce them on Discord, which you guys are free to join. I just put the Discord link in the chat. It's a small group of programmers. We chat about stuff and memes, and I don't know, it's kind of fun. We hang out. Yeah, if you want to check that out, that link is in the chat. But that's all I've got for today. I'm gonna go find someone else to raid.